Well, I thought this might make an interesting video, considering I know nothing about Xboxes. I found this one in Minnesota in about 2006. I don't have a controller for it, I don't have the audio visual leads, nothing at all. It needs a clean anyway, but the thing is it doesn't work. I plugged a power cord in the back, nothing happened. I looked on the bottom of it and it's apparently a version 1.4 and it's from 2004, so I guess it broke early on in its life. What I'm going to do is take on a little journey here. I'm trying to get this thing to boot up. I don't know what the problem is, presuming the power supply, and we'll see what happens. I'll take it apart and we'll carry on. Well, I've taken the original power supply out and that's not factory, is it? Something weird's gone on with the thing. So I'm definitely going to convert over to an ATX power supply. I've got this one here, it's a 300 watt, so that should be good. Also, this cable was in it and I don't know what's happened there, except the dog's probably had it. So I'm going to get a 40 wire version instead of this 80 and put that in instead as well. Something bizarre has gone on with it. Right, well, I used that internet thing again to have a look at this, and if you can see on the sides appears to be where you press the little tab in, but then horror of horrors, they're on the other side as well. And apparently there's such a thing called a Molex extractor tool, and I haven't got one. So I might go with plan B. Well, I will go with plan B, and that's to cut the wires and rejoin them up, use some heat shrink tubing and do it that way, because I suppose the fortunate side of this is that every connection is used on an ATX. Well, no turning back now. So there we are. It's a little bit messy at the moment, but I'm not sure of this with the two diodes. To cut a long story short, the couple of diodes method didn't seem to work. Now they did a couple of other alternatives, and then I remembered about shorting the green to a ground, and that would fire up for other uses. I use something similar for a hobby grade charger for our seaplanes. So this diagram does work, and it'll do until I can hopefully source an original power supply for the Xbox. Switch on, there you go. And there we go, we've got something. So we've now got orange and green. So I'll look up what that actually means now, and hopefully that's good news. So the surprising next stage is that this is the AV plug on the back of an Xbox. I've got to take out the motherboard now and then connect up various connections. And looking online, as I did again, this will be NTSC mono output with composite, and there's the pins I've got to connect up. So I'm going to use some Cat5, some internet type cable, because it's nice and thin, and find a couple of the correct plugs for the TV and have a go at soldering that wire together. Right, there we are, that's the motherboard out, and on the back here we can see the AV connector, and that's what I'm going to be soldering to. And I'll post a link to the diagram that I followed, but there's the connections. You just have to make one of the mode pins go to ground and then connect up the video, and I've got the left, or I guess the right audio channel, I'm not sure which one. Anyway, it's just going to be mono, but the thing is just to see whether it works. Now I'll put the board back in, connect to the TV and watch the explosion. And here we go. So, fingers crossed, Will Sketches start up part 2. Turn that on. We've just got a green now. Still says no signal. Right, well, it's all in bits again, but I've done some more reading and found out what this actually is. It's a coma console condition. The green light comes on, but there's no audio and there's no video output. I even tried on this TV here, that's why I've got it over here. Well, hey, I didn't expect this. I built the cable that's to be used with a Windows PC, and there is partially a Windows PC. I've run PonyProg, and there's the downloaded data. It actually did it. I'm surprised, but there's apparently the data from the defective EEPROM. Now I've got to reprogram the thing. Right, so apparently now I've got to save this as a .bin, as I say, I'll put links and stuff to the original videos and things I'm following. That there is the serial number of the console, so if I check that against the sticker underneath, hopefully that data is correct. But now I'll, as I say, save it as a .bin, and then I'll run another program, live info, to get the information that I might need to put into a blank type of EEPROM file. I don't know yet, I'm learning, but this is a success at the moment. And sorry for the shaky cam here, but if you look at that second line with the serial number on it, that warms the cockles of the heart, as they say, because that is the same number as on the screen. Here I'm running live info, and this is the information for this Xbox. I've got the serial number, which is correct, the online key, which doesn't really matter nowadays apparently, unique hard disk drive key, very important information apparently. Of course, hard disk drive status not found because I've not got the thing plugged in. So that's just it, the bare connections there. And I've got the ground lead just coming through to one of the points on the motherboard. And there's the 2 pins connected SDA SCL. This is all going pretty well. Hopefully now burn the new EEPROM. So just for the giggles really, I've gone and reflashed with the very same firmware that I took off, but I'm hoping it, you know, if they were like the wrong zeros, the wrong ones, something or other, I don't know, maybe it'll do something. So anyway, connected up to this old TV, which the Apple II is also running, but let's power on here. Oh, there's an audio click. Power. You are shitting me. Oh my god, it's booted. It started up. Right, if it helps anybody with these things, the fan isn't connected in the back. On the front, that is the error, and that's because I've not got anything else plugged in, I presume. So that's red and green. Right, so there we are with it booting. But what I've noticed is if I have the power plugged in to the hard drive, it doesn't boot. If I have it unplugged, it does boot. So although the hard drive seems to spin up, I think that's the problem, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. I've not spun that hard drive up in a good decade or something. But we're back to the green light, of course, being on. The Xbox is booted, we get the screen there. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to do a second video of this, perhaps with soft mod or what have you, because I also want to do something about these wires and the huge brick at the side. I want to do something that's a little bit neater before putting the top on. So here's a quick summary of what I've done to get this thing to boot up. There's a couple of extras I didn't have in the video because I did them off camera. What I've done is I've replaced the broken PSU with an ATX power supply. I've soldered the AV wiring and the connectors to the bottom of the board. I removed the 1F supercap from the motherboard because apparently they always leak. So I've made sure this one won't. I've also replaced the 80 wire IDE cable with a 40 wire. I'll have to check pictures again. I presume a 40 wire is the usual way, and whatever somebody did back in the day was also included in putting the 80 wire in there. I uploaded the EEPROM data to the PC using a simple cable, downloaded it straight again to the Xbox, which could be the fix for some people's problems. I also extracted the hard disk drive key, etc. So I'm hoping to make a part 2 of this with a controller purchased and see if I can get the thing running properly. But hopefully that was mildly entertaining, and thanks for watching.